Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troubling, irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish fake stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I read a very interesting article in Yahoo News that was originally created on CNN. Maui conspiracy theories are spreading on social media. Why does this always happen after a disaster? In other words, why is anybody questioning big media? You should be listening to us. You should be listening to our narrative. Do not ask any questions. Now, this article on August 26 states a slew of viral conspiracy videos on social media have made baseless claims that the Maui wildfires were started intentionally as a part of a land grab, highlighting how quickly misinformation spreads after a disaster. Now, Yahoo, CNN, and other big media are saying anybody speaking outside of the media's narrative is a conspiracy theorist, and they're spreading false information because they have all the facts and evidence how the fire started. But the very next sentence says, while the cause of the fires has not been determined. So my question is, how do you know what to label misinformation if you don't know exactly what started these fires? How do you know this was not a land grab? Yet I find it funny it was never a conspiracy theory or misinformation when people were saying from day one that these fires started. It was climate change. Climate change started these fires. Someone even wrote and published a book about climate change causing the Hawaii fires days before the Hawaii fires were started, but we're not allowed to talk about that. The paperback version of this book was ready a day after it was written. Even if it was AI, no paperback book is ready in one day on Amazon to be published. It takes a good 3 to 5 days, business days, for a book, a paperback book, to be published on Amazon. The article continues to say it's not uncommon for conspiracy theories to make the rounds after a national crisis. A research manager at Stanford University who studies misinformation, I can think about 1,000 other things to study that will help humanity than whatever the hell he's studying, right? People often look for a way to make sense of the world when they are feeling anxious or have a feeling of powerlessness. Now, while I never did study misinformation in college, I did take a street course called Bullshit 101. Now, is it really a conspiracy theory when you have the Maui police chief stating, the same Maui police chief that swept the 2017 Las Vegas shooting under the rug, come out saying they were not blocking any roads, stopping people from escaping Lahaina. Yet, you have the residents of Lahaina videotaping police actually blocking these roads, and they're on video saying the police are stopping us from leaving. They are trying to turn Lahaina into a fire pit.
Look at this. Holy shit, this is a nightmare. I don't know where he's going, probably to block our street. They're gonna fucking barbecue all these people down in Lahaina. We're all trapped down in here. They're blocking off all exits, and everyone is just stuck, going in a circle in a.
This is fire-ravaged Lahaina. A major access road was reopened this morning after significant restrictions and police checkpoints blocking access to most people over the last week.
And yet, funny enough, the same police chief, John Peltier, is now the coroner of Maui. Conspiracy theories aside, wouldn't that even be considered a conflict of interest? We can't have the person responsible for determining the cause of death to be the same person who is in charge of a group of people who can possibly shoot civilians. What if some people were shot disobeying these barricades or disobeying the police who are telling them to turn the other way? We will never know now, because the police chief is now the coroner. Now, I'm not saying people were shot, but how do we know they were not? You can't even ask this question, because if you do, you're considered a conspiracy theorist. I mean, I can't be the only one that feels they're not living in reality. I actually feel like I'm living in somebody else's fever dream, that I'm going to wake up at any moment, because this cannot be real. And I'm saying somebody else's dream because from my experience, not even my own dreams are this crazy. Theories that attribute the cause of a crisis to a specific bad actor offer a villain to blame, someone to potentially hold responsible, kind of like what you're doing with climate change. The article continues to say that far-fetched theories say that alleged laser beams were programmed not to hit anything blue, explaining why so many blue beach umbrellas were left unscathed by the fires. Which is true, whether you believe the laser beam theory or not. A row of blue umbrellas were left untouched, and everything surrounding it was burned down. The article doesn't even dispute that. Now here's the very important part of the article, the very fine print to where you can see where they are heading with all of this. Social media is incredibly valuable in crisis events, as people on the ground can report the facts directly, but that usefulness is tempered and can be dangerous if misleading claims proliferate, particularly in the immediate aftermath. Social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube have taken steps to curb the spread of conspiracy theories and misinformation, but some videos can slip through the cracks. Many platforms use a mix of tech monitoring tools and human reviewers to enforce their community guidelines. TikTok removed several conspiracy theory videos sent by CNN that were in violation of its community guidelines, which it characterizes as inaccurate, misleading, or false content that may cause significant harm to individuals or society, regardless of intent on the platform. Which is really scary. It's like living in a dystopian society, 1984. Only big media determines what's freedom of speech. Only they determine what you can speak about, even when they themselves do not have all the facts and evidence. Scary, scary world. The reason why this is important to talk about, because we have many wildfires ramping up all over the world, not just Hawaii. We have wildfires all over Canada, Louisiana, California, Oregon, Greece, Africa, Italy. Basically, the whole world is on fire. This is the lead up to the 2030 agenda. They want to change the landscape. This is basically what they call Build Back Better. They want those 15-minute smart cities popping up all over the world for complete control, under the guise of climate change and an eco-friendly society, while they themselves are the only ones flying around in jets. And this is all laid out on the UN's website, the 2030 agenda. They must get rid of the old to bring in the new, and by doing so, they must cleanse everything with fire. This is why they don't want us talking about this. They want to censor the word wildfires, or the word fire in general, just like they did the big C-19 and the jab. People ask me, why do I say jab or poke? What is the jab? What is the poke? Because now if you say what it actually is, you are completely removed off YouTube. Your channel is banned. So you have to skate around the word. Someone said in the comment section of one of my other videos, why do we constantly talk about the conspiracies about the wildfires in Maui, but we no longer talk about the other disasters like September 2001? Because you can't. You can't talk about September 2001 anymore. It is very censored. You try to talk about it, your channel is also banned, like as if you were talking about the C-19. Many previous events are now censored to protect the narrative. So you have to talk about these current events until they censor the free speech out of them as well. And I am sure if enough of us YouTubers talk about the wildfires, we will have to skate around that word as well. We will have to skate around the word fire too, and call it something like the hottie. So this is where we're headed as we go into 2030, and big media are playing their part as well to change the landscape of this world. And as many more events do come, many more words will be censored. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.